Hello, hello. How's everyone doing out there? Oh, YDBT Daily, Friday, finally into the week. Got through another week of silliness, and I'm glad I did because it's getting a little silly out there. And I understand this is the busy season. I understand everyone wants to go racing, but you have to be patient. Look, you waited 6 months or more if you're in the northern states to get your car done. And all of a sudden, you're in a mad rush to get it done, like right now. Like right now, you're in a mad rush to get it done. Like 6 months, 6 months, the bitch was down. Now it needs to be done before the weekend because you got to go gap fools. Sorry, that's not how we do it. All right, so let's do this. We're going to talk today a little bit about reinstalling the parts you have just put in. A lot of times, half of the things that can go wrong with your car or that is wrong with your car can be fixed by you reinstalling the parts in your car. We'll get to that. We'll also talk about some remote tuning difficulties, especially tuning all over the world where you face different personalities, different cultures, different ways of operating. And the United States is by far the fucking worst. And certain states are terrible too, in my opinion. And I'll give you guys a bit of that. But let's get started on saying hi to the people here. Give me about 10 minutes or 15 minutes to get through my opening monologue, and then we'll talk some shit. Whatever the hell you want to talk about, that's how it is. And as always, we are brought to you by the Parts Farm, 2 Auto Solutions. The Parts Farm. The MagnaFlow exhaust was fucking awesome. Appreciate you guys sending that over. And packaging was badass. 2 Auto Solutions. They got me the GT500 headers, 2-inch primaries. So I really appreciate both these people for getting me hooked up with a bunch of stuff. And they pay a monthly nut to get on the channel. So I appreciate them for doing that. Let's get to the comments and talk some shit to the people. We got Mendoza's Coyote, the first guy that said hello. 2000 MCR, John Jones, Coyote Fury, second shift racing, motherfucking FKA all day, every day. Macho Matt, Coyote HD, Mini Bike Madman, Bring Your Wood Screws, Noel SVT, Coyote Fear again, SVT Josh, Joseph Alvarado. He says, we await your knowledge. Not really knowledge. I just happen to have access to some of the stuff that most don't. Phil, Angel Puerto Rico, Paul H, Darren Harper, Eliza's S550, Grande, Mach E, Auto, but Liquor. Matt A, SK Jeff, SK Performance Jeff, I think it is, or is that SK Jeff something else? No, that is SK Performance Jeff. That's got the photo. Bobby Boucher, Kylan 302, OEM Spec, Paul Monaco, the guy who used to own my Mustang, Ali Al Hosane, Boosly, Moneyback Madman, Boss Man, Ali again, Juan Arturo Velez, Toledo, Chrome Taint, Clean 93 GT, Ali again, Clip Clop, Ali again, Mini Bike again, Mike Rodriguez, and everyone else that decided to join the family where we talk some shit, give you guys a little peek into what the deal is with remote tuning and some of the stuff that happened this week. I appreciate everyone that comes in here, and shout out to the 956 because that's usually where most of my fans are located. That, Florida, and California seems to be really high on that, on the fan or the viewership in general. Okay, so reinstalling the parts. Let's say, for instance, you just ordered a tune from Lund Racing or anyone. Let's say you ordered a tune, right? And then supposedly it's an easy combo. Easy combos are any manifold is an easy combo if the tuner knows what the hell he's doing. So typically, if the MAF is a known MAF, known injector, known manifold, and the tuner goes, it is lean, that's something you guys can check before it gets to your tuner. Now, sometimes the tuner fat finger something, forgets the injector data, forgets the MAF data. That's okay. But that's very rare. So 9 times out of 10, a smoke machine helps, or reinstalling your parts. I had a customer today, great guy, nice guy, did everything exactly as he should have. A very typical combo on Gen 2 Mustangs. The upgrade is a cold air intake, a ported 18 manifold or a regular 18 manifold, doesn't matter because porting doesn't matter all that much in that combo, and some injectors. And we send him a no flex base, basically a pump gas tune, a performance pump gas tune. It's not like a soft pump gas tune. It's a performance pump gas tune. So we send it to him, comes back 30% lean. I said, man, I love you. This is a vetted deal. I would really want to check, and I double checked on my end before talking out of my asshole. I double checked on mine and made sure that all the data that is proper should be in the tune. Go ahead, put it on, and try it again. He goes, man, I don't know what's going on. I don't have a smoke check machine, so I don't know what to do. So he said, do you think I should take the manifold off and see if there's any kinked O-rings. Now, I knew there weren't going to be any kinked O-rings because that's something that's kind of audible and very noticeable if you have a kinked O-ring and it's sucking a lot of air right at the cylinder head. So I said, sure, because he had to take the injectors out, he had to take the cold air off, he had to take the manifold off. So after everything was taken off, I knew that he'd have to put everything back together slowly. And he's going to have to really make sure that the install is on the money. How many of you guys have gotten a part in the mail and you're so anxious to put it on that you blow the car apart, impact everything off, impact everything in, ask for the tune revision, or you already have the tune revision, shove it on there. You're hoping that everything's perfect, but then you have lean conditions and then you go, shit, is it the tune? 9 times out of 10, what ends up happening is it's an install. So the customer went ahead and he installed or reinstalled the manifold, the cold air, the injectors. And guess what? The first tune we sent him was within 3%. And he goes, fuck, I feel stupid. I go, no. He actually did the right thing. I didn't get on his case. I didn't get mad at him. I didn't do anything like that. I said, look, you reinstalled your parts, which means there might have been a kinked boot. The mass airflow sensor might have been kind of like wonky on the flange. The manifold, or you forgot a line, you forgot an evap line, maybe you forgot one of the breathers on the crankcase ventilation system, something. You forgot something. So if you guys have doubts that your car is running well or not, take the part off, reinstall them. It's very, very simple, and it will at least verify, hey, I've taken everything apart twice. If you guys have access to a smoke machine, Alex, I have access to a smoke machine. I smoked the car, no leaks. Then the tuner goes, oh shit, let me make sure I didn't fat finger something in the tune. So reinstalling your parts, in my opinion, it's a very smart thing to do when you have doubts, especially when it comes to remote tuning, because the tuner typically isn't a tech. You understand? Tuners aren't techs. Tuners are data-driven guys. Like every tuner I've met, not every tuner, but some of the better tuners I've met don't have a lot of mechanical aptitude. And you could tell that a lot of guys that tune, maybe they did work on cars back in the day and they got a base knowledge off of that. But in terms of like being a tech, guys that blow things apart quickly and are really good at just putting things in and out aren't really, good at that, at the tuning. Not to say that they're not good at tuning. Usually guys that are good at mechanical things are bad at software things because they just go, it's software. I don't want to learn it. Fuck all that shit. So remote tuning, some of the difficulties with remote tuning is diagnosing. Some of the difficulties with remote tuning is trying to be a remote mechanic to say, okay, yes, blow it all apart again, put it all together. And only if you've worked on cars, and I have a base mechanical knowledge, but not necessarily with vehicles. I've dabbled with vehicles all my life, but I'm a millwright. And I've done everything in a extra large capacity, like power plants, electric, paper mills. Up in the Northeast, there's a ton of paper mills, a ton of machine shops, things like that. And I was responsible for maintaining the heavy equipment, the electrical motors, or the conveyor belts, the reducers, the gearboxes. That was literally my job. So as a remote tuner, you kind of have to take that into account and say, okay, well, maybe do this, maybe do that, maybe do that. But some guys are not willing to do anything. And then you have to become like a counselor, like a real counselor with these guys. You have to sit there and try to shake them and go, hey, blow it apart, put it all back together again, please. But in remote tuning, you deal with people from different cultures. Like I deal with a lot of people from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, any of those places over there. And one thing that, and I went to lunch with Jake today because Jake was local, and I said, let's go to the place nearby and we'll talk for a bit. So we talked about 45 minutes. And he went to a standalone tuner here in West Palm Beach to drop off a supercharger they ordered 80 weeks ago. You guys know which one it is. And Jake was like, hey, what's going on? How are things? And he's a remote standalone tuner. He uses, Motec, big stuff. And guys, remote tuning is remote tuning. It all depends on how the software spits back the data and how good you are at diagnosing what the software is spitting back. So he ends up saying, this remote tuning is not what it's cracked up to be. I don't like to travel the tracks anymore because traveling within the U.S., traveling between the U.S., to go to like Houston Raceway, Las Vegas, somewhere in Ohio, somewhere in Maple. It is awful. For you guys that think going to the track is awesome, it's awful. Shitty track food. Your back is always hurting because you're walking on concrete all the time or standing for hours on end. And as a remote tuner, you literally have to tell a guy who you know is a good tech that the car is put together like shit sometimes, and you have to hack your way around stuff. So he says, this remote tuning stuff's not working for me because it's such a pain in the ass having the guy take a look at the car for the second time. There's a lot of ego involved in remote tuning. A lot of guys think they're King Daddy tech. They say the same shit. I've been doing this for this many years. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I said, cool, your car's 30% lean. I don't give a fuck how long you've been doing it. It's fucking lean. But there are guys in other countries that have a completely different mindset. No, TeamViewer doesn't work. See, guys, do you guys think that remote tuners remote into your computer? No, give me a data log. Now, maybe they do remote into your computer, but we don't need to. There's nothing I can manipulate on the live side. Now, standalone is different. I understand that, Mini Bike Madman, but on a OEM operating system, there's no controlling anything live. So a lot of guys from Poland, I had a guy from Poland, right? Okay. What would happen? What do you guys think would happen if I had a guy, I was remote tuning, say in Houston, and his car blew up in the middle of a watt pole? What are some of the things that can happen next by his car blowing up? Right. So if we have a limited file, 6,000 RPMs, and I say, hey, go watt 3,000 to 6,000 RPMs in third gear, and the car blows up, boom, just dumb shit, rods flying out the bitch. What do you think can happen as a result of tuning it remotely? Well, they're not going to say, hey, man, yeah, exactly, it's the tuner's fault. You blew it up. He loses his shit on you. Well, you guys are very good. He loses his shit. You blew it up. Goes on Facebook, TikTok, my taint, and facefuck. And he starts saying, my tuner blew it up. He sucks. While live logging, we could abort a run. Oh, that's why we go incrementally. Bring your wood screws. We go 3,000 to 5,000. It's a short pull. It's not going to kill nothing. If it looks good, go to 6,000. If it looks good, go to 6,500. We do it incrementally. But live, with that latency, by the time I say let off, this shit's blowed up already. It's the tune. Exactly. So people tend to get really, really mad when their car blows up. Now, in other countries, it's a liability for the tuner. In other countries, like Saudi Arabia, Poland, they say stuff like, the motor did not survive the test. How would you have me build it? I said, excuse me? He goes, the motor did not survive the test. How would you want me to build it? And I'm like, it blew up? He's like, yeah, I guess that's how you Americans say it blew up, but it just did not survive the test. Okay, so can you send a data log? Sure thing. Sends the data log, and his IATs are through the roof. It tried to pull back timing, but it didn't catch it in time. And he had an IAT issue. Timing was trying to be removed to save it, but it just couldn't save it in time. Whether he busted a ringland or killed a rod or whatever happened, he says, it did not survive this test. How would you want me to build the motor? And I'm like, wow, what a nice attitude. That also happens in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Arabians and Kuwait and people in the Middle East, particularly, they go, yeah, blew up. We'll be down a couple of months, but I'll let you know when I'm ready. And I'm like, wow, like I've never in the 6 years I've been actively tuning remotely. I've never had anyone in Qatar, Saudi, anything in the Middle East where they're like, you fucked my shit up. What are you going to do about it? They go, yeah, we're working with stock bottom end stuff. We're working with cars that they're ka-chunked at the factory. There is no super tight spec. Everything is production engines. We're not expecting the world, but it did not survive the test. We will now build it with 1801 because the Saudis love compression. There is something about compression and Saudi Arabia that is like synonymous with each other. Hey, Alex, how would you like to have build? I go, well, just build it just like stock, just rods, forged rods, pistons, and sleeves. If you're going to send it over 1100 consistently, that'd be a good idea. What do you think about 18-to-1 compression? I'm like, it's a little aggressive. It's okay. We use X198. X198. Yeah, we have plenty of it. Okay. Well, what typically happens is they have a good attitude about it. They know the game. In the United States, a lot of the guys that build cars in the United States are inches away from bankruptcy. Inches away from bankruptcy. So they're like, I can't afford to blow this up. Alex, I cannot afford to have this car down. It cannot blow up. And I urge people that cannot afford to replace their motor to not tune their car. I urge people to not modify their car. I urge people that have a warranty and are broke to just have a nice, no tune required cold air intake on it and drive it and enjoy it until your money is up. But the people overseas that get a tune from Lund Racing, and if ever there happens to be an issue, and it's only on 1200 horsepower and up applications with suspect fuel, because overseas, they got the 98 RON, which is really like 92 octane here. And and in my opinion, depending on where they get this 98 RON, it can be an issue because it's really probably 87 octane. So this is not a poor man's game. Exactly, Darren Harper. This is not a poor man's game. This is not somewhere where you want to come in and penny pinch. But the attitude, yes, your car blows up. Shit happens. It's racing, guys. Formula One teams are full of engineers. They're full of people that really know their shit. And they have issues. Cars have issues, engine failures, parts failures, suspension failures. And even them, those guys at the highest level of racing, shit happens. It all depends on your attitude afterwards. So things like that, you have to be taken into account. If you're ever going to get into the remote tuning game, you're going to get treated differently depending on the countries that you're dealing with. Higher end builds, obviously, there's less of a, let's just say if someone has a lot of money into their build, like big boy shit, you're probably going to come across people that are either super picky about how everything goes down and you got to be okay with it, or you got to not be okay with it and not take on some customers. If I had ultimate control of the customers that I was seeing, I would deny probably half of the people that come through on my end. Let's say if I was doing it on my own, which I'm never going to do, I would probably say no to half of the guys. And I understand I'm leaving a lot of money on the table, but I'm saving myself a headache in the long run based on my experience with how people react. If they're coming at you thirsty as fuck, rushed, oh my God. When someone is rushing you, I have a race tonight. I have a cool story. I don't give a fuck when you got a race. The real guys that are prepared, test, and test. 661 Racing is one of those guys that tests. He goes, I got a race, but I'm going to test 3 or 4 times before I actually make sure that I make this race. And that's why he's successful. And people tend to hate on dude. They also tend to hate on dude because he's young as fuck and he talks a lot of shit and he don't drive his own car. But besides the point, he tests a lot. So when people rush a tune, I already know you're coming in sideways. It takes as long as it takes. That's why we gave you a 6-month revision window. 6-month revision window. That means from the time you order your tune, you have 6 whole freaking months to dial it in. But the problem is people get itchy like a crackhead. They get a tune, dial it in, then they modify it again and modify. I got a race tonight. I need my tune tonight. Dude, I don't give a fuck. I'll be honest with you. I don't give a fuck when you're racing. You racing doesn't get me anything. You winning at Yellow Belly, it doesn't matter to me. It matters fuck all, because if you got a small tire race at Yellow Belly, I don't give a fuck. I've not gotten 1 penny extra or rep because one of the guys I tuned won at Yellow Belly or won at Houston Raceway Park or won at anywhere. No. My job is to get a guy. We probably do better from just a regular Joe that has great drivability, drives his car every day, makes 650 on pump gas. He pulleys down, puts the 85 in it, makes 850 to 900, runs 9s at the track. We make more from a guy like that than one guy that's a grudge racer and he goes over to all these tracks and runs and thinks that we have to bend over back. Forget we. I'm talking about me, because if I implicate Lund, people start saying, "Oh, Alex said Lund doesn't give a fuck." No, I don't give a fuck. Let's be honest. I don't give a fuck. Lund is on that. If there's people on Lund that give a fuck, cool on them. This is all on me. I don't give a two shits. When you got to go racing and how fast, it's going to get done when it gets done, in my opinion. And if you don't like it, you can go get tuned somewhere else, or have Brandon tune you, or have Dakota tune you, or have Junior tune you. I don't care, because I'm not going to be rushed into making the tune quicker than it should be for it to be accommodate you. Sorry, it's just not how it works. Sorry. All right, let's get to the paid questions and talk some shit. What do you think? I'm full of shit or what? Reekin 50 became a member. Love you. Appreciate you very much. It always helps with the membership. Super Jose Reina says, is a ported manifold any different than a non-ported? Yeah, it's ported. Are you talking about power? Like, I think I have to teach people how to write questions. Alex, is there a power difference between a ported manifold and a non-ported manifold? Naturally aspirated, you might see a 5 to 8 horsepower gain. Not enough, in my opinion, to port it. In my opinion, it's not worth it. And boosted, 10, maybe 15, maybe. Not to the rear wheel. I'm saying measuring behind the asshole. Coyote HD says, hey, Alex, I appreciate the help tuning my 18 GT with JLT headers, 85 Lund tune. Just had the car dynoed and put down 517, 476, Lund for the win. That dyno is the happiest fucking dyno I've ever seen. I literally have never tuned a car that had those little mods and it made 517 to the wheel. Love ya, love ya, love ya. Either your car is a factory freak. Is it the same dyno that Homeboy got dialed in at? Is it the same dyno that what's his name? The guy with the Mach 1 on the ESS shit. I forget his name. Is it the same dyno? Because 517 is suspect. Man, what a nice attitude. Absolutely. When people overseas are super chill, it's nice. Hey, Alex, looking to buy a stock Gen 1 or Gen 2 automatic as a fun daily while staying on pump gas. Well, mods would just start on either. If you have an automatic, I'm going to be honest with you. Exhaust, a converter. Like, guys, a converter should be one of your first modifications for a automatic 6R80 Mustang instead of 10R80 too, in my opinion, if you're going to do the NA game. A little 3C or 4C or I had a 6F in my red car. It was a little aggressive, but goddamn it, didn't that thing launch like a motherfucker out the light? It was awesome. That 331s, free-flowing exhaust, and E85 with a cold air, that's an 11-second car anywhere, anytime, any day, and that'll beat most of the NA cars around there. Big compression engines hit different. They do, but who's building it? See, my problem is overseas builders. I don't trust any. Not that okay. I haven't personally seen anyone build a Coyote overseas that makes me want to like send people to him. Like, Habibi, Habibi and Cutter is the best. HBB Racing. Like, UAE Coyote build. I don't know. I don't know anyone in that area that I can recommend. Dropping in some channel support. Mario Aguila says, thanks for guiding me through my build. Whipple 10R80 running well into the 460 to 130. Badass shit. Dumb people are too dumb to know that they're dumb though. Stay stock, stay happy. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Wanted to apologize for bothering you yesterday on Facebook about thinking I got banned. Don't know why I couldn't see the chat, but just wanted to pay for the question I said. Oh, understood. Wait, you did get banned. You did get banned. Wasn't this the guy talking shit yesterday? I don't remember. Were you the guy talking shit yesterday? I don't know if it was him. Someone said must be a dyno jet. Hey, I have a dyno jet. Stop it. Xander. Yeah, that's his name. Xander. BBJ Racing. Right. Hello, Alex. I'd like to let you know that I build Coyote here in UAE. What's the name of your company? And it's like, wow, Coyote build engines or wow, race engines. Like, I don't know. Like, oh yeah, who's a good engine? FFRE, TKM, RPG, L&M, and wow, over in the UAE. Wrong guy. Okay, gotcha. It wasn't him. Gotcha. Make sure. Don't know, but let's ban him too. Quan, he has a similar photo. It might be him. Wrong guy. Most of my issues have been solved by reinstalling the parts. Thanks for your patience, Alex. I'm telling you, reinstall. You guys might think that I'm just like saying that for the sake of saying that. God damn it. Think about it. You installed, your car was running fine. There was no issue with your car, right? Then you changed something. You put catch cans, you put a ported 18 manifold, and you said, hey, Lund said it doesn't require tuning. And I put an 18 ported manifold in my shit, and now it's running like crap. Maybe you need to tune because it's ported. No, it doesn't. The mass airflow sensor compensates for inlet air temperature and altitude. It'll just see less air or more air, and it'll actually compensate for more airflow. So let's say, for instance, you install headers. Oh, look, the car is now flowing more air. Alex, do you have to make a tune for more fuel? No, the mass airflow sensor does that. We ask you to data log it just to make sure that everything's good. But I'm not going to automatically send you a tune for long tube headers. That's just not how it works, okay? If you remove federally mandated equipment, emissions equipment from the car, can't do shit about that. If you get a PO20, PO420, 430 code, can't do shit about that. If you delete EVAP from a car with a VIN and federally mandated emission, can't do anything about that either. You guys got to understand that shit. So I had a gentleman ask me, hey, Alex, I'm going to be driving in high altitude. Do I need a new tune for that? Think about it. Think about it. When you order a tune from Ford, do you think they ship cars at sea level that are tuned different to cars that go to Colorado? Do you think at the plant when they're building Mustangs, they go, this one's going high altitude. Make sure you tune it totally different than the one that's going to be at sea level? No, they don't give a fuck. What's up, Camry? Alex got on the big screen in the shop while installing the new 4 Innovations fuel system. So you got at least 7 hours or 6 hours ahead of you, Mike Rasovic. Chris Romero says, you're not wrong about car guys here being on the verge of bankruptcy. I remember seeing a guy that had easily $15,000 into affirmed parts on his car. Wouldn't listen, blew it up, and started a GoFundMe. The most cringe stuff you see on Facebook, Facefuck, and Taint, my Taint is where homie's broke. Homie's broke. Like, yo, what are you doing? I'm building a Coyote. Oh, what? Like, at least guys that build LSs telegraph that they're broke. And no one, you're broke. It's all good. But Coyote guys, to build a Coyote or small block Ford, this motherfucker's about to be 20K deep into a build. And he's broke. So you're like, wait, did you just hit the lottery or something? Like, homie's broke and he wants to get into the game. And he gets into the game. And what happens when you get into the racing game? Racing shit happens. You might blow it up. And guess what? Sasso. And then he's in a GoFundMe. I remember a guy who was racing a GT500. He was a VMP customer. One of the nicest fellas on the planet. Hit the wall. A 14 beautiful GT500 slammed into the wall at a track. Guys, if you're going to be racing at a track, your regular insurance might not cover it, but some kind of racing insurance will. So I am blown away. I don't have racing insurance on my GT500. That motherfucker goes to a track again, it better have racing insurance because I have too much money into that car to just go race it to have some shit-ass prep fuck me up at the top end, and then I smash the wall and I am out $60,000 to $70,000. This is a money man's game. You got to protect yourself. You don't think Lund Racing's vehicles are fucking protected? Bro, everything's protected. And when you get to a certain level of speed racing, I'm blown away that a lot of guys that race their cars are not insured properly. I am blown away by that thought process, but that's most of us. We don't even think about that shit. We go, wait a minute, what happened? Well, racing happened. Anything can happen. Could you please balance my drive shaft in the tune? Oh, I ain't paying 150 either. LS peeps are always fucking broke. That sounds like some turvy level shit. Haggerty has some awesome track insurance on a Boss intake manifold. Yeah, look, back on the insurance. If you owe on your car, all right, if you're at the track with a $40,000 car note, and that car is the bank's car, and you're out there racing it, and you crash, and you are not protected, you are a fucking dumbass. Get yourself some kind of insurance that insures you at the track. At least you'll have something. And then these guys that go to no prep, that's why you don't see some nice modern cars at no prep. You don't see a Cadillac CTSV at a no prep. I'm sorry, a new Cadillac CTSV because they crash that shit is a problem. only $60,000 to $70,000 to the GT500. I didn't build it, Matthew Nichols, but if I was to insure that car, sure, I'd only insure for about $70,000 because what am I going to get out of it when it's trashed, right? Let's say it's totally totaled and it's junk, and I can't do anything with it. I can maybe part it out and make $7,000 to $10,000 with what I'm saying, junk, like super fucked up. But if I was to insure that car, yeah, I'd insure it for about that price, but or maybe more just to get more on the end. But that's not how it works with insurance, right? I don't think you can just get a higher coverage and get that coverage back if shit goes wrong. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know they even had race insurance. Yes, guys, I don't understand how you guys that are racing your cars and you owe on them and you're at the verge of bankruptcy, you can barely afford the car note. And I've been there. I was one of those guys. I'm not going to talk like I've always been fucking loaded. I've been mostly poor most of my life. So I would definitely look into some kind of insurance. If you owe, you best damn have track insurance. You got to have track insurance. Crazy stuff there. I've had track insurance in my $18,000 Fiesta. Hell, most people are underinsured in general. People driving $6,000 cars with the state minimum. Nope. All my cars got full coverage. The Fairmont is severely overinsured. Stupid. Alex, is a meth kit a good idea on a supercharged Gen 2 on E85? One slow 5.0. The only issue I'm going to have with that is where you spray the meth. If you're spraying the meth in like the cold air intake and it's going, listen to what does the car have to, where is it going to see the meth, right? It's going to go through the rotors if it's a VMP top mount kit, like a Gen 2R, Gen 3R Roush blower. If it's a Whipple, it'll go through the rotors, up the intercooler, then down. In my opinion, the meth should be as close to the combustion event as possible. And it's very difficult to do that because you can't just make a spray bar like right by the fucking cylinder heads where the fuel's dumped out. Sorry, bud. You got to go. I love you. You got to go. And so if I were you, I would look to make it go as close to the combustion event as possible. But that's very difficult. And sometimes it's not that efficient. It seems to do better with centrifugal setups than top mount blower setups. Just rewatched the Peasant Chat from Sunday. Turvey's a fucking idiot. No wonder he got the band hammered. Dude, how can you get offered 3 jobs? One of them offered you housing, the ability to work on hot rods all the time. I mean, yeah, it's taking them apart, but you're getting paid. Relocation. I'm sure the parts firm would have helped them with relocation fees. This dumb motherfucker was like, nah, I just want to like stack pallets and leave me the fuck alone. 18 Vortec BAP FICs 24 PSI fuel pressure under watt. Where should I start? Your fuel pump. Your fuel delivery. Number 1, make sure that the booster pump is giving at least 16 volts to the FPDM, the fuel pump drive module. Measure that at idle driving or running. Make sure you're getting at least 16 volts. If it's an adjustable booster pump or fuel pump voltage booster, like a JMS unit, bump up the voltage to 18, see what happens. And check your grounds. Also check your grounds on the booster pump. Okay. Make sure that the fuse is good on the booster pump too. If that's still the problem, it's your pump. It's fuel delivery 100%. Now, the other thing that a lot of people are experiencing is this. A lot of people are supercharging their cars with stock fuel rails, myself included, but I know this. So I have a booster pump with a stock pump, and that should be good for about 800 wheel on a dense fuel. Again, on a dense fuel like a 260 GT, C16, yada, yada, yada. A lot of people have like a return style fuel system and they keep the fuel rails stock. And what happens when your fuel rails are super restrictive? Well, the pressure bleed on the pump opens up and you have massive fuel pressure drop. So what happens is the pumps have a pressure relief in the tank. And when they see a certain amount of pressure, it opens up, bleeds back in like a bypass, and you lose fuel pressure at the rail. So make sure that if you get a fuel system, make sure you upgrade your rails, especially on ethanol. You might be able to get away with it more on a denser fuel, but it's a good idea to upgrade the rails too. I've got Haggerty Race Insurance. Smart man. That wasn't me yesterday. That was trying to see the replay. I'm always down to support the channel and what the channel supports. I appreciate you, Alex. Appreciate you. So now, if you guys watch the show immediately after it airs, it takes a while for YouTube to process the chat. Sometimes the chat doesn't show up, and it's usually because you've watched it right as it ended, so the chat replay is not available yet. Other times, if there is a copyright strike, meaning if I'm playing some stuff that gets copyrighted,
I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up the pussy.
Then I want to get paid for it if it's a very popular show. So they asked me to trim out the segment. If I trim out the segment on the replay, it kills the chat. Lately, I've been really careful not to get copyright strikes because I want to make sure the chat stays up. Just this month, 4 customer over 5-digit affirm orders. What? Just this month, 4 customers racked up at least $10,000 in affirm? Did the last name end with Ez? Stop it. Oof, Beefcake Racing in the house. I've got Haggerty units based on agreed value. My 05 Nissan Titan has full coverage. Radioactive Fabrication says, Alex, I have a Gen 1 with a 4R200 conversion. Uh-oh, here we go. The car is doing a P0755 and P0758. Solenoid B trans codes. Is it possible something was overlooked in the tune? No. This is why. You can shove a 4R200 hub into a bone stock car and it'll go 1, 2, 3. The issue will come up when it tries to look for 4 and 5. You can literally throw a 4R200 equipped transmission in a bone stock Mustang, bone stock calibration. It'll go 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. So it'll just go, where's the, so in my opinion, you have a build, it's a solenoid B, and is it a circuit code? Is it like a circuit code? Okay. And who's tuning it? Who's tuning it? Who's tuning it? Radioactive Fabrication. Now, I'm not saying you fuck something up, but I think you fuck something up. And who's tuning it? Because there's only one tuner that I know of that can tune a 4R200, and it rhymes with lung. Would you recommend tuning a stock 13F150 Eco Boom? Yes, yes. A couple more pounds of boost, a little different throttle mapping, and put some premium fuel in it. It'll be a fun truck, but you're going to have to upgrade the intercooler, Mendoza's Coyote, because IATs can be an issue on EcoBoost trucks. We all know about that stuff. If I was single with no kids, I would have been driving to Georgia right now, right? Psycho, psycho, psycho. On some real shit today, whoop my ass for on a Friday. Glad it's the weekend now. Anyone else sitting in I-5 traffic south of Louisiana, bring me some tacos, please. Turvey has been talked about every show since Sunday, right? Fuck him in the ass while they beat up the pussy seems kind of suspect. I like to fuck him in the ass while you beat up the pussy. Oh, wow. He is a psycho. Who dropped the hundo? Who dropped the Parts Farm? Holy shit. The Parts Farm in the house. Thank you. They said, don't forget the discount code at the Fathom website. I think he meant Parts Farm website. Hashtag YDBT for a discount. If you guys are looking for parts at the Parts Farm, check it out. Psycho Eyes is in the house. What's up, brother? We just dapped earlier, bro. Come on. Do it right. Man, fuck you. Man, fuck you, man. Bitch asshole. We suck again. Is Whipple overrated? I mean, tell me what you've heard about Whipple. And I'll tell you if it's overrated. I'm betting Beefcake can see someone's affirmed $20,000 before the summer is Omer instead of over. What's the most powerful car you've ever tuned, Alex? I think it was 12 or 1300. Well, technically, I didn't tune my blue car, but that one's made 1100. But I think I tuned a 1200 horsepower 14 GT500 because they make power so easy once they're built. Gen 3. Kenny Bell throttle body, cams, 2-inch primary headers, ethanol 1R, ID 1700s. The thing was getting it. So probably 1200 horse. Junior and Dakota, I think, have the records in terms of horsepower in terms of the guys. Levante's Ray TV says top 5 mods for 2018, 10 speed. Hey, very nice. So we're going to start with a tune. I would call that a mod, right? A tune from a reputable tuner. A cold air intake, but the cold air intake doesn't have to be a specific one. It could be a JLT. It could be a PMAS. It could be a PMAS fender intake. It could be anything of that nature. So that's 2. We're going to go with headers, weight reduction, and rotating mass reduction. So you're going to go with a drive shaft. You're going to go with race wheels that are light, like a Weld or a Bellac or big boy shit, or even the VMSs or the race stars. Headers, E85 tune, and a cold air intake. Honestly, those are the top. Like that usually gets you in good weather way into the 11s, like deep 11s, 11.4, 11.3, 11.2, if it's a base car. I like the 315 gears, guys. I know you guys that have 355s with your performance package, 10 or 80 cars, you prefer those. I honestly prefer the 315s because a lot of you guys do roll racing. And the issue comes up on the 6-7 shift on 355s because you guys race to 150 miles an hour like dumb ass motherfuckers. And the 315s seem to have a better shot at the roll stuff. But in my opinion, it also does really well in the quarter mile. Now, if it's a 10-hour and you're going to drag race, you got to throw a converter in it. I don't know how you NA guys are not throwing converters in these cars. You're just going, hey, I can't stall it more than to 2,100 RPMs. Get a fucking converter in the thing. Get the flash point to be higher, and it'll 60 foot better 100%. So again, we're going to do cold air. We're going to do a tune. We're going to do E85, long tube headers, and get the rotating mass down. And free, get the weight down. Take additional weight out of the car. These cars are heavy. 3,600 pounds minimum for a base car. So if you're a 200-pound big boy, that's 3,800 pounds race weight. You got to get that sucker down in the 3,500 range, and you're going to really start seeing some great performance gains. Don't forget the P51 Cold Air Forged Stars MT82 swap. No Bama tunes. Rob Mitchell for the win says the guys with the Affirm build got their car from 100,000 NA build. Can you read that again? Read that shit. The guys with the Affirm build got their car from CarMax. 100,000 NA build. What do some tuners consider a tune for headers and others don't? 2014 Coyote. Tell me what they would adjust. Tell me what they would adjust, right? Are they going to adjust the O2 delay? Are there because the look, the sensor being a little further away from the pipe doesn't necessarily need tuned. You can literally put headers on a bone stock Mustang. If it has cats, right? It'll make better power and it won't throw any weird codes if you shove headers on it. So it doesn't need tuned, in my opinion. VMS, they suck again, but I have them. Just get the Beefcake Paxton Special. Exactly, 100%. That's kind of the way to go. I don't understand why people like ESS is making waves just because they're the new kid on the block and people want to be a part of something new. And they're like, Alex, what do you think about this kit? It can make 800 to 1,000. I'm like, so can any Paxton or Vortec. But this one is different. Right. So it's Procharger. I mean, what do you want me to do? You want me to go, yes, ESS. Look, guys, if there's a new guy on the block and he is promising the exact same horsepower level as previous centrifugals, why would you go with that person? And because Beefcake has the buying and volume power to get everything together like a Beefcake special, you get the injectors, the tuning, the Procharger, the Paxton or Vortec as a package deal. And if we all know how packaging works, he can get you a better discount on the whole situation. Would removing the fog lights on an S197 mess with intake airflow and cause power loss or incorrect MAF readings? I like the Boss look, but I don't want to lose power. Not really, because, okay, your cold air intake sits on the driver's side because it's angled, and technically you're supposed to have a shield making sure that the engine bay stuff, the engine bay air doesn't cause MAF turbulence, and that shield should be there to keep fan wash at bay. If you remove the fog lights and it is causing a ram air effect on the cold air intake because the grill has been adjusted and moved or whatever, you might have drivability issues 100%. So, okay, someone else supposedly did the tune. Not sure who did the conversion on the trans. Got the car on deal due to his issue. Sounds like I'm going to get the trans checked out and get with you guys after. Thank you again for the info. You got it, sir. Look, I only know one tuner. Then look, if the trans was put together properly, the valve body, the lead frame, everything is new on it, right? And the tune is done by a reputable tuner that has done 4R200 before, it shouldn't throw any solenoid codes, sir. Beefcake got my V3 better priced than an ESS. Just saying. That's what I'm saying. Remove your fog lights for 10 more horsepower. Beefcake got me a T56. At Brendan GT says, and Zane, I don't have a girl on all in mind. No problems with the P mass. Hi, Alex. Hi, chat, says Chaldean guy. I'm sort of following what Alex did with his white car. Mine is a 10R80. Look, The Ben Calamer Stage 3 Trans is in. That's right. I went to Mikey's, dropped it off. Homeboy got it done like that. He's smoke checking it right now to make sure everything's good. And I'm hoping he gives me a call today or tomorrow and say, come pick your shit up. Let me see. Someone just texted me right now. It wasn't him. So it's in. So now what am I going to do? I got to put some break-in miles on the clutch so I can transfer some of the clutch material onto the flywheel so that I don't glaze anything and do dumb shit. So I'll be driving it gingerly or just normally. I'll probably go down to Miami, drive down for a little bit with the little lady, have some dinner down there, drive it around, come back, get some 260 GT in the bitch, make sure it has at least 500 miles, change the oil in the car because it's been through a couple of dyno pulls, and then see if the readings are different. Go wide open throttle. Jake and I had lunch today, talked about the race. He's going to fill up with the 85. And we're going to get with Junior on the tuning so that the rev matching, because the gear ratios are different. I got to get with Ben Calamer. That's why I have a Ben Calamer shirt on today. I got to get with him today so I know what the gear ratios are. Then video, and try to get you as much info so that if you're in the market for a Ben Calamer Stage 3 D4 Gen 3 transmission, I'll let you know what to look out for. Guys, it's going to make more noise. So don't think that a race trans is going to be quiet. I fully understand that it might make some clunking, some whining, and with the RXT dump truck, tractor, John Deere, whatever the fuck clutch, I know it's going to make more noise, but that's just expected with a race trans. I'd love for you guys to drive a face-plated dog cut gear bullshit straight cut T56. Oh, it makes a little grinding noise when I'm driving slow. Yeah, bitch, you're supposed to go watt and jam it in a gear. It's a race trans. So when people get a Stage 3 Ben Calamer, they're like, oh, the clutch shudders a little bit. Boy, get in a T56 that's been race prepped like a motherfucker. That bitch howls and makes a whole bunch of weird noises. Second Shift says, was at dinner with the boys and the 6R80 subject came up. What kind of game changer would it be if someone made a manual valve body for a 6R80 conversion? Zero. It's impossible. How are you going to adjust the oncoming and offgoing shift pressures? How are you going to adjust the oncoming and offgoing? The 6R80 is an electronically controlled trans. Well, 4R70, it's an electronically... Guys, do you want one of these days? I'm going to install HP Tuner software on this laptop. And I'm going to show you every single table that's on a 6R80 tune. And your questions about manual valve bodies will go away. How long till you ditch the RXT for Mantic? Maybe 2 months. I am not a fan of the RXT, but Ben Calamer gave me a clutch at no cost, which is a $1,200 deal, because I'm doing the R&D for him, and we're going to do the tuning for the value file so that he can sell them. And I bet you I'm going to get rid of that. Dog boxes are loud as fuck. Exactly. Are the Odin kits easy to tune? Yep. Quite easy. We got good vetted tunes for them. Faceplate for the win. Keeping the cat back on the white car. I might change to an H-pipe. I've gotten a lot of info from you guys. Thank you very much. You're all telling me to take the X pipe out and put the H pipe in. So I'm going to take advantage. And if I can find one, put it in and do dyno stuff, and we can do sound stuff. You guys really like that video. That video got more play than I thought it would get. You guys like hearing things. So I'm going to make sure I put the phone back there next time, because it has a way better mic than the GoPro. The GoPro seems to go silent after a while, or if the wind hits it, it's very prone to wind noise. So I'm going to use the GoPro in only controlled environments, like no wind, no high sound, stuff like that, and use the phone or a better camera, upgrade to a better camera to get better video on that whole situation. But I'm going to upgrade to an H-pipe, but I'm going to keep the MagnaFlow in there and see if it makes any power difference, or if it makes a deeper rumble or anything like that. Straight cut gears sound insane. I got the BK Paxton B57 and love it on my 17 GT. AOD for the win. But Alex, my legs hurt because the clutch is too hard. Is the Mantic like $2,000? Yeah, it's like $2,000. But hey, this is not a broke man's game. This is not a broke man's game. Odin in the 9s. Odin's been in the 8s. Yeah, it's been in the 8s. I remember Zach Myers out of Orlando. He's been 8s with his Odin like years ago. Hey, Alex, what's your opinion on sequential for MT82? Is there a kit out there? Thanks, brother, for the great content. There is no There is no kit out there for sequential MTD2, but why would you want one? Isn't H pattern King Daddy shit? Isn't isn't H pattern King Daddy shit? I like H pattern. I'm an H pattern guy. Voodoo or Roadrunner paired with a TVS. Roadrunner. Look, the Voodoo makes a ton of power because of its RPM, great cylinder heads, great cams, and added cubic inches. But it is fragile. Ask Chris Cervenka from Steeda. Ask the Hot Sauce GT350. It is a fragile motor. The Roadrunner goes 850. Give me more. At about 1,000, shit can go wrong. Wait, Alex, so the white car did 695, 60 to 130, only making 700 horsepower? Correct. That's what makes me go nuts, because it is flying for the power. The power you saw on the dyno, 680 something, is what it made when it ran the 695, 60 to 130. What do you want, Bicho? You've been outside. You've done everything. You've been out. My God. Alex, you told me once to get an H pipe and X pipe. You told me once to get H pipe and X pipe. Okay. I'm about to send MT82 into the been sitting in my garage, broken 500 for a core. Yes. Thanks for talking about the EPA, Alex. You got it, early Leroy. That's a funny name. Yesterday we got, I don't know if we got, but during this show, we got an extra $2,000 sent at it. And I'm happy to see, hopefully it's well on its way to making $1 million, and we can have them do a petition against the EPA to tell them to suck dicks. That case, the Mantic clutches come and worth. That case, the Mantic clutches come and is worth it alone. That case, the Mantic, oh, Jesus Christ. The case the Mantic clutches come in are worth it alone. Ha ha. It's funny how people expect their race modded cars to drive better than stock. 6R80 guys should hear how loud a straight cup power glide is. Very late, dropping a like. Catch a replay later. Anyone know how much a Midnight 10R80 costs? I don't. Just hit up Manuel. He's very good about getting back to people. So hit him up on Facebook, hit him up on Instagram, hit him up anywhere, and should be able to get back to you. Pat the One. This is not a credit card man's game. Stay debt free. Stack paper. Got to pay to play when it comes to cars. Alex, you told me once to get an H pipe, not an X pipe. Got it. Yes. Look, this kit was provided to me, so I'll get an H pipe eventually. Hey, Alex, Gen 2 TVS car, going to try this 260 GT tune you sent me. Since the Stoic is close to pump gas, is it okay to switch tunes and still have 93 in it? Yes. Sorry if it's stupid. No, you're not stupid at all. It's good, better to ask. Not a broke man's game for sure. I had an H-pipe and Super 44s on my Gen 3. Sounded like a 90s 302. I love Beefcake. Shout out to the OG. What do you think about MagnaFlow's resonated X-pipe? FBO, 3rd Gen 5.0. Is the flow hindered in your opinion? I don't know. I haven't really had that much data. If I can find a resonated H-pipe, I will put it in the motherfucker, because it is a little on the loud side. I'm not going to lie. It is a little on the loud side, and I like a subdued adult exhaust. But if it's going to pull away 10 horse, I might have to rethink it. I wish I would have caught yesterday's show. You were on fire. Was I? I don't remember. I thought it was just a normal show. U.S. Environmental Protection Agency says, wow. Look up the Borla switch fire mid-pipe. Alex, have you considered maybe using MagnaFlow resonated X-pipe? We just talked about that. What Mantic would you put in the 14 MTD2 with 700 wheel? I think it's the, let me see, Mantic clutches. Let me see. Because I like them. Jeff Kirko is good people. Always treated people well. Mantic Clutch USA. Let's do some share screen situation. Chrome tab, Mantic Clutch. Let's see what the deal is. Mantic Clutch. Okay, so we're gonna look for Ford. Ooh, good website. I like it. Yeah, Mustang. Yeah, I like your website, Mr. Gurko. Oh, bro, I love your website. It's easy to fucking navigate. Fuck yeah, let's go. No, he's not paying me. Okay, 18 to 22. 11 to 17. So this is the organic material or the cerametallic? This one. Oh, no, I'm sorry. MT82. This one right here. Wait, single disc? They got a single disc? No, I wouldn't do single. If you're going to be at 700 horsepower, I would twin disc clutch. So don't they have an 11 to 17 cerametallic? 11 to 17, goddamn triple. 11 to 17 organic. T56. There you go. 11 to 17. This is triple. Don't they have a dual cerametallic 11 to 17? Here it is. Oh, yeah. Okay, here it is. Sorry. Twin disc clutch. What? Okay, so they only sell organic twin disc? Boy, because I don't want you guys to spend $3,000 on a clutch. No offense. I wish they had a twin disc Cerametallic. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay, right here. Sorry, guys. So the twin disc Cerametallic clutch is what I would get. It's not cheap, guys. I'm sorry. It's not a poor man's game. Twin disc clutch, 11 to 17 GT Cerametallic. This is the bitch right there. Yep. That's the one I would get if I were you. Now, this is probably going to engage a little harsher. Oh boy, this brings back memories. It's going to engage a little harsher. Great website, by the way, Jeff Kirko. If you guys want, something that's a little softer on the driveline, then get the organic material. Okay, get the organic material if you want something a little softer on the driveline. I personally want the Cerametallic situation on my end. So there you go. I gave you not only a good explanation, but I showed you the product. You had a twin disc in the black car. Yes, I had a twin disc Cerametallic clutch in the black car. I ended up replacing it with a T56. And the only thing I had to replace in the whole clutch kit was the discs. That's right. I had a twin disc Cerametallic MT82 changed to a T56. And all I had to do was make the 26 spline discs, change them, and I was able to rebuild. That, guys, that's the key. That's the key. You don't have to buy a whole new clutch. Think about it, Linda. Let's say you buy an RXT and then you fucking grenade it after a year and then you send it into RX. How much are they going to charge you to rebuild it? Whereas Mantic, you could rebuild it yourself. If you want to send it in and have them go look over it, they're not going to charge you $2,000. That's the kind of clutch you keep kind of forever and you just replace the parts that wear. It's good shit. I'm not a big fan of flywheels being lighter at that weight, Bilbo. So you guys got to think of flywheel as inertia and torque, right? What are you looking to do with the car? If you have a road race car, I guess I can understand you getting an aluminum flywheel, right? But if you have a dig car, a car that you drag race and it's stick, personally, don't you want a heavier flywheel? Maybe the car won't rev up as fast, but it'll transfer the torque easier. There's a whole article on the Old Muscle Mustangs and Fast Forward magazine about inertia and the type of flywheel that you get. Some people might disagree with me, and I think they can all suck my fat dick. And it's fat. That's my girlfriend. Alex, Pipes has a resonated H-pipe. It's called the H-box. I'm sure if they sell it a 3-inch, but look, you got to understand, this is a MagnaFlow system. I am not going to buy a Borla or a different brand. I want it to fit the current system. So I'm going to have to get MagnaFlow stuff. I don't want to do custom exhaust work. I want to be able to change parts that are just easily bolt-onable. I am not one of those guys that goes, well, it's got a Borla H-pipe, and then I put some reducers, and then I V-banded it. No, I want easy. So if it's going to be a MagnaFlow H-pipe, I got to find either a used or a mid-muff resonated, whatever the fuck. I'll do whatever I need to do. Alex, $50,000 for a 13 GT500 with 10,000 miles. That is low. That is a very low price. Is that worth it, or are prices too high for right now? Looking for a 13 to 14, stay in stock. In my opinion, SVT Snake, that's either low or exactly where it should be priced for 10,000 miles. 13 to 14 GT500s are the last stick muscle car Ford made. I know that Challengers had sticks with Hemi and Hellcat motors in them later on, but Fords did not. And that is the last bruising stick shift, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that Ford ever made. In my opinion, $50,000 for a 13 GT500 with 10,000 miles is a good deal. Power has to go somewhere. I'd rather take it out of the flywheel than my crank. Is the width, not the length, that matters. Exactly. It's all about the stretch. How much of a difference 260 GT versus 93? Well, one has 93 octane, the other one has 100 octane. So there you go. $50,000 is on par with what I see in North Carolina. P51 ported exhaust, SVT Snake. Hop on that thing. That's what I'm saying. Offer $45,000 and some bicho. Wait, you mean you don't want your exhaust to look like it was pieced together from a flea market? Alex, Pipes has a resonated H-pipe. You should give that a shot. Try to put it on the MagnaFlow. Oh, just take it to a welding shop. Sancho welds it up, and I'm like, oh, now I'm married to this fucking shit. No, thank you. MagnaFlow changed the Mustang exhaust. Your design is obsolete. So it would definitely have to be a used front section. Exactly. I'm looking to have a used front section that's on par with that part number. By the way, guys, I bought a catback for the GT500, and that'll be the next video, I think. I'm just going to pull the GT500 out of the garage and lay out the whole new exhaust I bought. I think you guys will like what I bought, hopefully. SVT Snake, thanks, Alex. Anytime. That seems like a good deal. I wouldn't really pass it up. My buddy has a 14 GT500, only 8,000 miles to my Brandon. Thing is super clean and runs good. Alex with the girth. Alex, do I need to tune my Gen 3 to run E85? Of course you do. Of course. What would you? Of course. Alex Puente, yes, you're going to run. Do you think E85 is just high octane fuel, or do you know that E85 is 30% less dense than gasoline? You definitely need to tune, sir. Hey, can you go back and get my paid Alex? Not trying to be a Karen, just needed advice, said with SVT. Okay, hold on. Oh, here we go. New dipstick tube came in, and I'm about to take it into the dealer to do a compression test and drop the pan. Anything else I should have them look at? Nope. Do a compression test, leak down if they can do one too, and see how everything goes there with SVT. Hopefully everything is good and no real damage was caused by their ineptitude. Alex, I got a Boss 302 over 0701. Okay, Alex, I got a Boss 302 over a 0709 GT500. Yes, Boss 302 is a better car. Coyote, Roadrunner. It's a Roadrunner, better car. Less were made than 0709 GT500s, and it's just a better buy overall, in my opinion. Less war sounds when hate starts now. Yes, it doesn't sound like Kiev right now. Plus 15% horse hooves. Would you rather have Fat House 350 or a built 2020 GT500? Built by who? The Fat House name carries some weight, right? The Fat House name carries some definite weight, and I wouldn't just poo-poo the fact that it's a Fat House GT350. To me, that's on par with, some of the better brands out there that were ever built. So if Fat House built the 2020 GT500 or a GT350, let's say both made 1,000 horse, a twin turbo GT350 with a build motor, absolutely, and Motec, absolutely. 350, a Fat House 350, 1,000 or 1,100 wheel, usable horsepower. Boost by gear, twin turbo, cam lope on the fly, Motec, fucking change the tunes with a wiper button. Absolutely. Is the oil pressure gauge in the 11 to 12 GT premiums a dummy gauge, or is it accurate? It's kind of accurate. Wait, 11 to 12 GT. Yeah, it's kind of accurate. It's inferred. There's no actual connection. I mean, there's a sensor, and the sensor has a range based on voltage, but it's not like deadly accurate. Okay, B, but like fuel system, whiz any, wow. Okay, my B, but like fuel system wise, WHISE, anything need to be done there? Nope. Alex Puente, just a tune. Your car, if it's a 10R8, if it's a Gen 3, has 16 injectors. I have to repeat this a bunch of times. Gen 3s have 16 injectors, 8 port, 8 direct. You don't need a lot of fueling help to make that sucker run on E85. Wasato official says, how are you, hoes? 350s La Luz. Alex at 602. Get the fuck out of here and give someone the move. No, we can stay a little bit. It's all good. I mean, I'm feeling good. You guys want me to just leave? You don't want me to stay a little bit and talk some more shit? Why not? Has anyone DCT swapped the 350 yet? No. And you know what? You need someone that has a lot of money and a lot of time and like the know-how of Jake. I guarantee that if Jake, because Jake has a DCT, Jake still had, actually, he sold one to Ben Calamer because Ben Calamer was doing some R&D. So Ben Calamer bought one of Jake's DCTs, and he said the thing was mint inside, which gave Jake the like, whew, thank God. But if Jake is able to put a DCT in a GT350, imagine that, an NA GT350, John Lund tune it, Jake do the wiring to make everything work. I guarantee that can be done. It's just going to take someone a lot of money, like $20,000 between labor, time, R&D. It's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be cheap. I installed my Corsa gauge before I found your channel. It wasn't that bad with the stock manifolds, but when I installed long tube headers, it became unbearable. And the double H-pipe later and 4 resonators sounds perfect. Hours over, Alex. Bye-bye. Talk some more shit. Exactly. Guys like saying, oh, get out of here, Alex. Damn, they saying, Alex, get out of here. You're not that guy. Right. Ever since I found this channel, I don't even consider forums or Facebook groups. This channel is so much more true than a forum warriors. Look, You got to understand, forums are full of people that are told things by people like me. Okay. You go to a forum, Mustang 6G, Mustang 7G, Ranger 8G, suck my dick G. You fuck him in the ass while he beat up.
I like to fuck him in the ass while he beat up the pussy.
All those guys regurgitate the shit tuners or techs tell them. And no offense, techs are pretty savvy in putting parts together, but a lot of the times tuners have access to the wiring diagrams, files that tell you the logic and how the if and, the if when, the if not this logic. So when a car is acting up or having issues, well, people ask us, we give them an answer, then they go to the forums and regurgitate the shit. What, guys, how much more do Coyote guys know now than they did back in 2011, 2012? How much disinformation was being spewed out there because one or two tuners were loving the fact that they were in the forums and they were like, I'm this guy and I know so much. And we were just getting half of the story. Then all of a sudden, people like me and others that started talking a lot about the Coyote game started people, wait a minute, but he said, but the number 8 cylinder issue, but this, but that, the 4R2. If tuning and if forums were like they were in 2011 to 2012, the 4R200 hub would have failed because only a few tuners were online and they couldn't tune it. They still can't tune it. So they would have said, nah, that part dies. All of a sudden, my red car, rest in peace. My Fairmont 4R200, 8 seconds in the Fairmont, 9.1, 153 with that car, 3,900 pounds. If it would have been 11 or 12, you would have had so many people saying that part's whack. You don't know what you're talking about. And the forum, yeah, no, he said it's whack. There's still some of that bleed over. Yellow bullet for the win. NA350 with DCT is definitely something I'd buy. 9,000 RPM shifts with the DCT would be gangster. Being on the forums will wear out your N and R keys. Damn, son. Talking all that shit. Heading out to my birthday dinner with the wife. Hey, the hot sauce. Congratulations on your birthday. Another year on this shit-ass planet. Have a good time with the wife. Forums in 2002 for the win. Phil, 350s are 3,700 pounds. They're not light by any means. No, 350s are very, very heavy. 350 makes good power with the right gearing and DCT. It would probably keep up with the GT500. No, it won't. Not even close. Might make 200 less horsepower, but the GT500 is a fat bitch. No, the GT350 is still it's still an S550, dude. Over time, since membership only covers 5 to 6, how much horsepower do I lose on flex fuel compared to full 85? That's the funny one, Demo Allen. Peak, the top of the dyno curve. If you make 480 on flex, you'll make 480 on E85. It's average. Before the peak, you'll see torque and horsepower be generally higher, 8 to 10 on the full E85 tune from the beginning to the end because we shoved the timing in earlier. Do you know what I am saying? Alex, how's the data on the FIC 1400 injectors? I like the 1440s. I'm experiencing some idle surging that I've always had. I don't think it's the injectors. I still think I suspect I've had a vacuum leak for a little while. So I'm going to make sure that after the smoke check, everything pans out. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Little man wants to go out and get fed the whole 9 yards. I stayed 8 minutes over just to give you guys a little bit because I felt good about it. I'm going to be on Sunday, 9:30 a.m. The peasant chat. We just talk shit. We just talk shit on the peasant chat. Brendan says, just because I asked so many questions, thanks for explaining the 85 deal. Peace out, everyone. Charlie Arnold, my wife ordered Don't My God Cookies recommendation from an old fat guy. Order them. Don't My God Cookies. Don't My God Cookies _LLC. Alex, let me know when you want the gap. What gap? What the fuck are you talking about? The GT500 stays ready. The GT500 stays ready. So you want some of the GT500? It's ready right now. Oh, no. I didn't mean the GT500. I meant the white car. Oh, don't be calling out, homeboy, when I got a low 8-second car on deck. Don't be, nitpicking which car I'm going to run you with. Stop it with that bullshit. All right, guys, I'm going to fuck out of here. I'll see you guys Sunday morning. How much do you know about the Ford Bar Turbo? None. And I don't care because it's not here and no one gives a fuck. I'm out of here. See you guys Sunday before any people pay up for more questions. Bye.